I hear so many voices sounding through centuries. Stanislav Richter. The Russian Museum of the Emperor Alexander III. Among royal palaces of Europe, this one is unique of its kind. That is how contemporaries estimated this new masterpiece created by famous architect Carlo Rossi. That is the Mikhailovsky Palace built in St. Petersburg in 1825 for the Grand Duke Michael Pavlovich. This palace was destined to be the center of an artistic life of the capital. It was visited by all the celebrities of St. Petersburg. Among them there were musicians, singers, actors, writers, poets and scientists. The Grand Duchess Elena Pavlovna, born Princess of Württemberg, Michael Pavlovich's wife, was the heart and soul of these meetings. She won everybody's heart not only by her beauty and elegance, but by her intellect, education and many talents as well. On her visit to Rome, she won the heart of Karl Blurov, a famous artist. Otherwise, he wouldn't have painted her portrait, while the work on his famous picture, The Last Day of Pompeii, was in full swing. In the times of Elena Pavlovna, wonderful music of Anton Rubinstein was heard in the luxurious wide hall of the palace. Berlioz, Schumann, Liszt held their concerts there. Magnificent balls were held in the beautiful chambers of the palace. On the 7th of March 1898, the first Russian Museum of National Art was opened in the palace. It was named after the Emperor Alexander III. Today the collection of the Russian Museum amounts to about 370,000 pieces of national art. They are exhibited not only in the former Mikhailovsky Palace, but in 3 more beautiful buildings of the former Imperial Petersburg that were turned over to the Russian Museum in the 1990s. Among them there is a romantic Mikhailovsky or Inženjerny castle built by the order and to the taste of Paul I, was called a Russian Hamlet by his contemporaries. A luxurious marble palace was built by the order of Catherine II for her favorite courtier, the Count Grigory Orlov. A palace of Stroganov was built in the times of the Empress Elizabeth, later owned by the Count Sergei Grigorovich Stroganov. These palaces and their luxurious halls, filled with pieces of art, are the living witnesses of the past. They have preserved a so-called thread connecting ages for us. A thread connecting ages. I have to tell you one more and the last legend, and my chronicle will be over. I have fulfilled the duty bequeathed to me by God, the sinner, wrote Nestor, a chronicler, one of the wisest and most educated monks of the Kiev-Pechora Labra. He named the chronicle that he wrote in the faraway 12th century the stories of ages and years. This is how this Pechora monk was interpreted by Mark Antokolsky, a famous sculptor, after he read the tragedy Boris Godunov by Alexander Pushkin. Let the Orthodox descendants know the past of their native land. Ancient icons have seen a lot throughout their lifetime. Sorrows of many people, bloody revolts, and tears of mothers. A golden-haired angel with a sorrowful look of the wide-opened eyes came to us from a faraway 12th century when Nestor, the chronicler, created his stories of ages and years. At the time, sorrow and grief came from the disorder in the land of Russia, from the enmity and fights of Russian princes. Brother fought brother and son killed father, seeking for power and better lands. Here, in the land of Suzdal, near settlement Kiboksha, where rivers Kamenka and Mirna interflow, Boris and Gleb, two princes and brothers, met in 1015 on the way to Kiev to visit their father, Vladimir Sviatoslavovich. A temple of Saints Boris and Gleb was erected here 1.5 centuries later in commemoration of the two young princes who were killed in this place by their brother Sviatopolk the Cursed and were acknowledged to be saints for their deaths of martyrs. The first story of them was also written by Nestor of Pechora. The icons collected here tell of many events that happened in the land of Great Russia in different times. The icon of Apostles Peter and Paul was created by a God-inspired artist, Andrei Rublev, in 1408 for the iconostasis of a nation temple of Assumption in the town of Vladimir. Creator and producer Valery Nikitin, written by Nadezhda Nishatayeva, director-manager Vladimir Venediktov, director Grigory Chakryan, directors of photography Andrei Gusak, Michael Metelitsa, music compilation Ludmila Volkov, Vladimir Venediktov, executive producer Neda Karamova.